What's going on, everybody? C4 here, and today we're going to be talking about the Philadelphia Eagles because we didn't get to do a live reaction to the Eagles' first round pick, which I would have liked to do last night because we traded. We gave the Baltimore Ravens pick 32 in the first round and our fourth round pick for the 52nd pick in the draft, which was their second rounder, their fourth rounder, which, you know, we gained a couple spots there, and a 2019 second round pick. Now, we gave this up well knowing that they were going to select Lamar Jackson. They're going to get their future franchise quarterback at pick 32 and picking up that fifth-year option by selecting him in the tail end of the first round. Philadelphia had a whole lot of, you know, they held a lot of the cards here. And I feel like with the valuation, I said it a little bit last night, ultimately we're not really going to know the value of this trade until we see what happens in 2019 and what they do with that second round pick. If they end up just getting someone I really hate, I'm going to be super mad. But as of right now, I'm just irked just because I feel like we could have bent them over a little bit more. We constantly praise Howie Roseman for being this fantastic general manager, which he is. He won, I'm pretty sure, Executive of the Year last year. But I feel like knowing that the Ravens and a bunch of teams wanted to trade up, most likely to select Lamar Jackson because, more importantly, with that fifth-year option, it helps out a quarterback like Lamar Jackson that needs that extra time potentially to develop. Or, in the Ravens' case now, it gives them an extra year to kind of retailor and retool that offense to make it so that it can work with Lamar Jackson. And I really do feel like, you know, if you look at trade calculators, there's certain websites that, you know, kind of give points and scores to every individual pick. I think when I read something on Twitter about this, that this was like a 690 to 600 kind of trade, where Philly got 690, the Ravens got 600. It wasn't a lopsided trade. It was pretty balanced, pretty fair trade. And I feel like, you know, given how much credit we give Howie Roseman, given the importance of this 32nd pick and what it meant to the Ravens, we could have got more value. I would have expected this to be a little bit more lopsided. Not drastically lopsided, not like we're getting an extra, you know, first round pick, but I could have definitely just seen either us not giving up one of our fourth rounders in this trade, or, you know, that fourth rounder that the Ravens gave us being a third rounder, or getting maybe a fifth or sixth as an addition. I just feel like we didn't get the most out of this trade, and understanding it went for a quarterback, I feel like we could have done a little bit better, but ultimately, you know, picking up another second round pick next year, you know, assuming the Philadelphia Eagles are once again uber competitive and we're in the playoffs and stuff like that, going towards next season, we're going to have a first round draft pick, 2 second round draft picks, 3 picks in the first 2 days is very good. Those are the kind of picks that more often than not, you know, terrible teams have, not, you know, you would hope Super Bowl caliber type teams. So long term, you know, I can't crap on it too much, but short term, it seems like we got, it was too fair of a deal. But anyways, what I'm going to try to do for you guys here today is we're going to try to look at the top 10 available options for the Philadelphia Eagles, in my opinion, that we can look at selecting here at pick 52. Now, before we jump into the top 10 prospects, they're not really ranked in order, to be honest with you. These are all 10 guys that, honestly, I could either see us getting or I'd be happy with us getting. But we're going to kind of, you know, cross off some names here that aren't going to be available. I just can't possibly see whether they're still there at 52, so that's why they're not mentioned. So Darius Geis, Will Hernandez, Harold Landry, Cortland Sutton, Josh Jackson, and Connor Williams. Those are the names of guys that I didn't include because I just can't see them still being there at 52. I hope they were. Those are some of those guys, Geis, and Connor Williams in particular, I was kind of hoping last night we were going to select at pick 32. You know, if there's a chance, I mean, there's always a chance that one of those guys could be available. I mean, who would have thought Josh Rosen would have slipped to number 10? So if any of those guys are available, that has to be the pick, I think, at 52. But that being said, let's jump into the top 10 quickly. At number 10, I have Dallas Goedert, the tight end from South Dakota State. I think ultimately he could come in and fill that Trey Burton role. Has some of the best spectacular catching I've ever seen. Upside, I know Philadelphia wants to run a lot of 2 tight end sets. I mean, Zach Ertz has not been the most healthy. You know, I wouldn't say he's injury prone, but he hasn't been the most healthy throughout his career. And I don't think Richard Rodgers is a, you know, I think he's an all-right tight end 3, I suppose. But, you know, getting Dallas Goedert kind of signals we don't have that balance. We don't have that pure run-blocking tight end, which kind of makes this pick maybe a little out there. But in terms of trying to fill what we lost in Trey Burton, who at times was pretty much a glorified wide receiver, could work in out of the slot, Dallas Goedert fits that bill more so than any tight end here. So that could be a good pick there at 52. I wouldn't hate that. Number 9 is Nick Chubb, the running back from Georgia. I think he'd come in and be running back 3. You know, like the Geis, where I basically have talked about Darius Geis. I think Nick Chubb, or pretty much any of these still talented running backs, would fill that role. Nick Chubb more so could probably take over the LeGarrette Blount short yardage power back style, but long term, running back still could be a position in need because we don't know the future of Jay Ajayi. And if Philly doesn't feel like there's going to be value when they pick in the 4th round or the 5th round at the running back spot, a guy like Nick Chubb, who, if he didn't have the medical history, the bad knee injury, he would have been right there in the conversation with Darius Geis, with, obviously now, I guess, according to the Seattle Seahawks, Rashad Penny, and Sony Michel as the top running back after Saquon Barkley in this year's draft class. I would not be upset with a Nick Chubb pick, as long as, you know, we clear him on the medical. Number 8 is Christian Kirk, the wide receiver from Texas A&M. I think he come in and compete for wide receiver 3. Ultimately, you know, we have a band-aid, if you will, in Mike Wallace for our deep threat, the guy that can separate the field, help Alshon Jeffrey. But I think long-term, a guy like Christian Kirk can bring that. Plus, he can work slot, and I've already mentioned in some of my videos, you may be a little bit worried about Nelson Aguilar taking the money and running when it's contract time, because we're not going to probably be able to pay him because we're going to be saving money for Carson Wentz. And, Nelson Aguilar doesn't seem like the kind of guy, in my opinion, that would show loyalty because we stuck with him when he sucked. Now that he's good, he's going to go off and get paid. I mean, I can't fault him for that, but he is our slot wide receiver, and looking at our current wide receiver depth chart, we don't have a slot wide receiver replacement. A guy like Christian Kirk can be best suited in the inside, so I would not hate that pick at pick 52. Plus, he gives you special teams ability. If we don't re-sign Darren Sproles, we could be in line for looking at a new returner, and Kirk gives you that ability day one. Go to pick number 7. We have Dante Jackson, the corner from LSU. He could be a starting nickel corner. He's one of the fastest players in the draft. Slightly undersized, but he's pretty much built to be a nickel corner. This right now, out of all the names I've said, I would say he's the second most likely. I feel like Philly's going to pick at 52. They showed a lot of pre-draft interest in him, had him in a bunch of visits, did a lot of research. So I feel like Dante Jackson is a prime candidate at 52. Like, if I was putting all my chips on what of these 10 players I think Philly's going to pick, Dante Jackson is probably number 1. I wouldn't hate the pick. I understand nickel corner could be a need. I understand that looking long-term, maybe Darby's not going to re-sign, so then you kind of have to figure out what's going on with Sidney Jones, Jalen Mills, Rasul Douglas. We have the corner names, but we don't have anyone that is a proven nickel, and a guy like Dante Jackson can give us that ability day one. Now, the only problem with this is I don't necessarily know if Dante Jackson can evolve as an outside corner. You know, in drafting and using your top pick on a pure nickel, we saw the value of Patrick Robinson last season and how well he played for us, but nickel still is an undervalued position, a position that you try to get these undersized, shiftier corners a little bit later on to come in and just fill that kind of niche role. But, you know, when you're the Philadelphia Eagles and you live in nickel defense a lot, it does add a little bit more importance, so we could do a lot worse than getting Dante Jackson. Ultimately, I won't be too upset if that's the pick. Number 6 is Mike Gesicki, the tight end from Penn State. Again, another guy that can come in, pretty much play the Trey Burton role as a, pretty much all-out receiving tight end. He can draw a lot of comparisons to Zach Ertz. I don't know if you want that compliment. I don't know if you want two Zach Ertz. I mean, Zach Ertz was probably the third best tight end. Definitely was the third best tight end in football last year after Gronk and Travis Kelce. Having two of those could be a mismatch nightmare. But again, if you watch any of my videos, I'm all about compliments. I'm all about, trying to confuse the defense and make them decide, do they want to stop this so we can expose them with that? You know what I'm saying? And I don't necessarily know having two Zach Ertz tight ends will be the most beneficial option. But he could definitely be in play, especially after dominating the Combine. Number 5 is DJ Chark from LSU. He's an absolute burner. Good hands. LSU wide receivers seem to, even though they have terrible quarterback play, they seem to, catch on in the NFL. And I think if you're trying to find a long-term complement to Alshon Jeffrey, knowing that Mike Wallace is kind of a Band-Aid, a burner like DJ Chark could very well be that complement. So he could be potentially in play here. Probably be on the lower side of my spectrum of I'd be happy for that pick, but could do a lot worse. Number 4 is going to be Ronald Jones, the running back from USC. Now, this is kind of a thing I'm going with my buddies, but I don't like USC. And it always seems like since Chip Kelly, Philadelphia always finds a way to get a high draft pick from USC. Now, the Nelson Aguilar re-emerged has kind of made that a little less painful, but it's just one of those kind of a memes amongst me and my friends that, oh, wait, like literally, I was talking to my buddy with the draft, and he's like, oh, I can't wait to see what USC player Philly drafts. Now, I do like Ronald Jones. I definitely think he's a little bit underrated. I think he would be a good complement to what we already have back there. A little bit more of a one-cut slash dasher speed type guy. So I actually would not be upset with him at pick 52 if we deem it a need. Again, come back in, would be a running back 3 as part of that three-headed running back attack, and long-term could be the future pairing partner with Corey Clement, depending on Jay Ajay's future. Going to pick number 3 would be Ronnie Harrison, the safety from Alabama. Now, I think safety is a pick that Philadelphia probably values. I think this will be one of the guys still there at 52. Look at the safeties, like I said in my pre-draft kind of hype videos. Philly ran 3 safeties on the field, a whole lot in the nickel. That's what we had Malcolm Jenkins playing linebacker, covering the tight ends, more closer to the line of scrimmage and running backs out the backfield. And then we got a lot of Jalen Watkins, and there's a lot of Corey Graham. That's why you saw a lot of Corey Graham in the Super Bowl. So long term, I think getting a more dynamic safety option for this year as a rookie will be valuable because we will see a lot of the field. And then long term, Malcolm Jenkins is getting up there in age. Roddy McLeod is a prime candidate to maybe be a cap casualty in the coming years. So getting a safety now, he's the best player available at 52, could be that scenario. And Ronnie Harrison, I think in the, when we had him mocked in the first round, I thought that might be a little bit of a reach. But if he's still there at 52, I can get all aboard on that. Going to pick number 2, player number 2. It's Justin Reed, the safety from Stanford. Again, same role. Will be that third safety. Offers a little bit more coverage ability than Ronnie Harrison. He's not as big. But I do think that, with Philadelphia showing a lot of pre-draft interest in him, kind of like Dante Jackson, those are my 2 guys right now. I would say at 52, if my gut has to, go towards a pick, I think it's going to be either Dante Jackson or Justin Reed if they're still there. But again, as I just stated with Ronnie Harrison, that third safety is a lot of value to the Philadelphia Eagles. So they're going to get a lot of snaps as a rookie. And then number 1 is going to be Malik Jefferson, the linebacker from Texas. I think he coming to be the 4th linebacker, be top linebacker depth for a team that kind of does still need linebacking depth. I think the team is higher on than a lot of Eagle fans are thinking on Corey Nelson, who we got from the Denver Broncos. But still, I mean, Michael Kendricks is constantly on the trade block, and he's often injured. We have Jordan Hicks, who's been an injury liability. So, going linebacker if Malik Jefferson is top of their board, I would not hate that pick. Now, he is my, of the big group of linebackers that were in this year's draft class. Him, Leighton Vander Esch, Rashawn Evans, Roquan Smith, Tremaine Edmonds. Malik Jefferson was clearly my number 5. Clearly the guy on the outside, clearly the more, not as refined, might not have the high success rate, but he's still in the 2nd round. Like, these are guys that were kind of like, if Philly was going to get them, you thought before the draft, they may have to use their 1st round pick. Now, seeing at the 5th or at 52, I feel a little bit more comfortable looking at guys like Malik Jefferson, Justin Reed, Ronnie Harrison, Ronald Jones, Dante Jackson. So, we could do a lot worse. So ultimately, I would say out of this top 10, 6, 7 of these guys, I'd be happy. I think ultimately, I feel that maybe Gesicki, DJ Chark, and Nick Chubb would probably be the 3 players that I mentioned that I'd be like, yeah, a little lukewarm on. But ultimately, if one of those guys are available, or even the guys I said that would be gone, Geis, Hernandez, Landry, Sutton, Josh Jackson, Connor Williams are still there. We got to give kudos to Howie because those are guys that I was kind of thinking about targeting at pick 32. And if we're still able to get them at pick 52, there's a reason why. Howie's the best GM in football. So, Eagle fans, let me know what player you want the Philadelphia Eagles to select here at pick 52. Tonight, I am going to be doing the live reaction to the Philadelphia Eagles 2nd round pick. And then during the 3rd round, I'm going to be doing a live stream and shooting the shit with all you guys. So make sure you tune into that. Follow me on Twitter at PapaXC4 for all updates that will come. And that'll do it for me today, guys. As always, your first time stopping by, don't be afraid to hit that subscribe button. Smash the like button if you enjoyed. And until next time, it's C4 saying peace out.